Nerdcast assemble!
Stay dandy, baby. In this episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations, Boruto falls into a pile of shit. It's not really all that important, but I really wanted to bring it up. Hello, my friends. It looks like the Land of Silence arc is continuing to move forward. An arc which is already sandwiched in between the Kara arc. And basically, this was an okay episode of the series. Essentially, just Boruto and his team running from a bunch of angry people in the Land of Silence, as those purple-haired ninja run off with the Hashirama cells. This is an episode which did not blow me away in any way possible. That's really the only way that I can actually sort of say it. I think things are going to get a lot better in the next episode of the series, and that's only for the way that this one ends, and for the fact that the preview completely gives away the fact that Deepa, the member of Kara, a brand new character of the series, is actually going to be making his true formal introduction, and we'll actually get to see him in battle, and I'm very excited to see what that's going to be about. But this episode right here, there really isn't all that much to it. Basically, you have Sarada and Konohamaru who decide to split up, with Boruto and Mugino going off to do their own thing, and the main reason for that is because Boruto got sprayed with all that stuff in the last episode, which basically is perfume, which allows all of these people to track him down real easily. So him and Mugino have to run off and do their own thing, and it's an important thing to do because, of course, we have to develop the relationship between these two characters who are constantly at odds with one another, and it's mostly played for laughs, especially the scene where Mugino realizes that a great way to cover up that perfume would be for Boruto to jump into a ditch full of all sorts of shit. And basically, that's what ends up happening. He ends up sweeping his leg frickin' Johnny style and ends up sending him into this, like, giant ditch filled with all of this nasty stuff, much to the anger of Boruto. But the plan actually does kind of work. At least for about 2 seconds until this guy and this dog end up tracking him. And basically, it's just watching the characters run around for 20 minutes. They even end up meeting that one kid, who of course they were going to introduce because he's important in this episode, the thief kid in the Land of Silence, who lives in the sewers like a friggin' ninja turtle, and he actually ends up leading them to his secret hideout, which coincidentally is also the place where he lives, and his sister is the girl who got infected by the Hashirama cells, who also conveniently is here thanks to Mitsuki. Everything just sort of lines up a little too perfectly in this episode, but essentially this little kid and his sister end up leading Boruto and their friends outside of this place so that they can make a quick escape, track down these purple-haired ninja, and get the Hashirama cells back. But things aren't going to be that easy when suddenly 3 mysterious ninja appear at the end of the episode, and you can just barely tell that they are from the Cloud Village. You can't quite tell who they are, but if you want it completely ruined, just look at the preview for the next episode, because they totally show them in full and out of the shadows, even showing a scene where they battle against Deepa. So, what's the rundown on this episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? I didn't really care for this one. I just felt that it was kind of average, to be perfectly honest. If there's one scene that I really liked, it's when they were making their big escape towards the end of the episode in that big airship. Now, this is here for a number of reasons. One, it's just showing how far the ninja world has come, the fact that they now have technology like airships, but also, two, this is not the last time that we're going to see an airship in the series. Just remember when I actually say this. Also, I have to say, production value-wise, the series is not terrible. In fact, that scene where the airship actually crashes and they have to jump out of it looks really damn good. Like, really high quality, to be perfectly honest. I mean, if anything, the Boruto anime series, I think, has been consistently better animated than Naruto Shippuden, so I have to get it credit at least for something. But overall, I'm ready to get out of the Land of Silence. I'm ready to move on to the next part of this Kara arc, and I want to see Deepa. And thankfully, we're going to be getting that in the next episode, as everybody is going after these Hashirama cells. And I ultimately can't wait to see if it's going to get more interesting at this point. I was really into it at the beginning when we got to all the stuff with Victor and all that. I thought that that was all legitimately kind of interesting. The minute that we left the Deep Valley area and went to the Land of Silence, I was just starting to snooze. And I'm so glad that we don't have to be here any longer, because I don't care how many of these freaking stupid goons you throw up against these main characters, they're not going to do anything. They're just not. Look at some of the stuff that Konohamaru, Sarada, Boruto, and even Mugino have done in the series. Look at the battles that they fought in the past. Do you really think these assholes with kunai are going to be able to do anything against them? There's no tension at all. The Naruto world is filled with so many annoying, worthless bandit-type characters, and they never do anything. It's only the big-name characters that ever do anything, and honestly, that's always been a hindrance of the entire show. Again, I didn't completely hate this episode, I just found it kind of boring and average. And in some ways, that's worse than getting a completely great or a really bad episode. At least then I could have some more to talk about. Really, there's just not that much about this one. But at least it's moving forward, and we can move on to the next part of the series. So, what's the rundown on this episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations? I can't put it any clearer than that. This is just a painfully average episode of the series, which has a few small moments of brilliance, but that doesn't necessarily make a good episode. I did like the ending. I like the introduction of the Cloud Ninja, which is ruined in the preview. And I do love the fact that Deepa is basically in town. Hell, there's even a scene of him in this episode where he's hanging out at this restaurant eating a steak, which looks really delicious because anime always makes food look really good, but he says that it tastes like sand. I don't know. And he ends up basically killing everybody in this restaurant because apparently he's a crazy man. And I can't wait to see how crazy he's going to be in the next episode. This one right here, meh, just kind of average. 3 out of 5 from me. But your thoughts may differ, and I'd love for you to sound off in the comment section below telling me what you thought about the latest episode of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. While I didn't necessarily love this episode, maybe you actually did love it, and I'd love to hear why, and I'd love to see what you hope to see from the rest of this Kara arc, the formal introduction of Deepa in the next episode, getting to see what his fighting style is going to be like, what his abilities could potentially be. If anything, he's a very distinctive looking character, so I can't wait to see that. But again, just sound off in the comments, give me all your thoughts, and there it is. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Please subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this one. If you did like this video, take your kunai, your shuriken, your sword, whatever ninja weapon you have, and hit that like button. I would also like to thank all of my patrons who've been checking out my Patreon page. You guys are awesome. You're watching my videos, you're giving me feedback, and you're making monthly donations. Remember, first-time donators, I'll review an anime series of your choice, and I would love to add your name to this list of super amazing people. So thank you guys so much for watching this review. I'll see you all next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.